The story begins with a man named Sebastian, a cashier in a small German bank. On this day, he sits alone in his apartment, recording a video on his laptop. In the video, he tells a mysterious story about an inventor named Hans Vagen. In Sebastian's version, Hans was not just a locksmith, he was a genius engineer known for creating unusual security devices. After losing his entire family in a tragic house fire, Hans dedicated his life to building 4 extraordinary vaults. He named them the Sunstone, the Iron Waltz, the Storm Guard, and the Final Echo. Each vault was designed with a dangerous feature. If anyone tried to break in or damage the lock, a self-destruction system would activate, turning everything inside to dust. Once Hans finished building them, he mysteriously disappeared. People later claimed he sealed himself inside the Final Echo, his most complex vault. No one could open it, so authorities treated it as his grave and sank it into the deepest part of the ocean. According to Sebastian's retelling, 3 of Hans's vaults still exist somewhere in the world, but their owners and locations are unknown. After completing the video, Sebastian uploads it online. Then he turns to a small metal vault kept on his table. He experiments with the lock and, to his shock, manages to open it in just a few seconds. Even he cannot believe how easily he cracked it. Feeling thrilled, he grabs his bag, buys a coffee from a corner cafe, and heads to the bank completely unaware that opening that vault is about to change his life. As soon as Sebastian reached the bank, he was confronted by an angry woman. She was shouting non-stop because the bank had refused to clear her check. While she yelled at him, Sebastian's eyes drifted to the TV on the wall. The news was reporting zombie attacks in different countries around the world. Hearing this, Sebastian became nervous. The woman shouting in front of him even started to look like a zombie in his imagination. Without wasting any time, he quickly approved her check and sent her away. During lunch break, Sebastian checked YouTube and saw that an international lock-cracking competition was starting. He had registered for it, so he joined immediately. Soon, the first round began, and all the participants started working on their locks. Because Sebastian was highly skilled, he cleared every round one after another and reached the finals with ease. In the final round, he was matched against a boy named Neo. Their task was to open a very complicated locker within 3 minutes. As soon as the timer started, Neo began working intensely, but Sebastian stayed calm and relaxed as if he didn't care about the game at all. Everyone was stunned when Sebastian opened the locker so quickly, and the whole crowd began clapping for him. In the middle of the applause, Sebastian's eyes landed on a woman named Gwen. The moment he saw her, he felt instantly attracted to her, but he didn't know that Gwen would completely change his life. With time, he would learn many surprising things about her, like she had stolen her first watch when she was only 6, stolen her first car at 16 after a heartbreak, and by 17, Interpol had already issued a red notice against her. The next morning, Sebastian went back to the same coffee shop. As soon as he saw Gwen, he got nervous and accidentally spilled his coffee all over himself. Later, they sat together at a table and Gwen revealed something shocking. The person who had commented on his video was actually her. Gwen said, "I'm a wanted thief. Police from different countries are after me, and my next mission is to steal the 3 special safes made by Hans Wagen, the same ones you talked about in your video." She wanted Sebastian to join her because no one understood Hans's safes better than him. She explained that they had only 4 days, because after 4 days, the locations of all those safes would be changed. She handed Sebastian a slip of paper with an address and said, "If you're ready, come to this place by tomorrow morning." That night, Sebastian went home and kept thinking about Gwen's offer. He had always admired Hans Wagen and had always dreamed of opening those legendary safes, so he finally decided to join Gwen's plan. The next day, Sebastian reached the address Gwen had given. There he met the rest of the team. Besides Gwen, there were 3 other members waiting for him. The team members' names were Corinna, Rolf, and Brad. Corinna was the hacker of the group, Rolf was the driver, and Brad was the gunman. Together, they explained the entire plan to Sebastian. Without wasting any time, they all left for Paris, because one of the 3 safes, the Rheingold safe, was kept in a bank there. According to the plan, Sebastian first entered the bank and hid inside the locker room's toilet. Meanwhile, Gwen walked toward the bank carrying several bags. She handed those bags to the guard and used the moment to secretly steal the key to the bank's back door. After that, she went inside the bank. She had already arranged to open a locker in advance, so a bank staff member guided her to the locker room and then left. Once the staff member walked away, Gwen took Sebastian out of the toilet and led him to the spot where the Rheingold safe was kept. The moment Sebastian saw this beautiful, legendary safe, he was stunned. Opening a Hans Vagen safe had been his childhood dream. Without wasting a second, he began working on it. One by one, he unlocked each mechanism, and within a short time, he successfully opened the safe. Inside it was a huge pile of cash. Both of them stepped inside the safe and started filling the money into bags. Meanwhile, the rest of the team kept distracting the bank employees. Taking advantage of this moment, Gwen and Sebastian slipped out through the back door of the bank and escaped. After the heist, Sebastian couldn't contain his excitement. For the first time in his life, he felt like the main character of his own story. The scene then shifts to Interpol headquarters, where officers had already learned about the robbery. The bank's security security cameras had captured Gwen and her team, all of whom were already on Interpol's most wanted list. During the meeting, we see an officer named Daily Crow who had been hunting Gwen and her crew for years. Daily Crow told everyone, if they have already opened Wagner's first safe, they will definitely go after the other two. And the second safe is located in Prague. Next, we see Gwen and her team celebrating their successful heist. In the middle of the party, Corinna came to Sebastian and tried to kiss him, but Sebastian refused because he liked Gwen, not Corinna. Corinna then told him, Gwen is already in a relationship. Her boyfriend is Brad, but things between them are not going well, and they might break up soon. That night, Sebastian went to Gwen's room, and the two of them started talking. Unfortunately, Brad saw them together and became very angry with Sebastian. The next day, the entire team reached Prague, where Wagner's second safe was kept, but they didn't know that Daily Crow and his officers were already waiting for them. According to the plan, Gwen and Sebastian entered the bank disguised as employees. Following Corinna's instructions, they reached the lift, but meanwhile, the security team became suspicious of them. Two guards approached Gwen and Sebastian for questioning. Before the guards could ask anything, Gwen quickly took them down and the pair rushed toward the safe. Meanwhile, outside the bank, Daily Crow was waiting for the thieves. When he saw no movement for a long time, he became uneasy and decided to go inside the bank himself. When Daily Crow entered the bank, he discovered something shocking. The safe he was looking for had been moved to another branch a week earlier. This meant the police were waiting at the wrong place and the real heist was happening in a different bank. Without wasting a second, the entire Interpol team rushed toward the correct bank to catch Gwen and her crew. Meanwhile, Sebastian had already started opening the safe. After some effort, he finally succeeded. Opening Wagner's second safe made Sebastian insanely happy, and he hugged Gwen tightly. At the same time, the bank's security team issued a high alert because the two guards who went to question Gwen and Sebastian were missing. As soon as the alert was activated, Corinna switched to plan B. She sent Brad inside the bank disguised as a robber. The moment Brad entered, he pointed his gun at everyone inside. This pulled the attention away from Gwen and Sebastian. Using this distraction, both of them quickly filled their bags with cash. Once the job was complete, they gave Brad the signal. Brad began walking out of the bank, but just then a security guard shot him in the shoulder. Even with the injury, Brad didn't stop. Somehow, he managed to reach the getaway car. As Brad stepped outside, all the frightened people inside the bank also rushed out. Gwen and Sebastian took advantage of the chaos and slipped out with them. They ran toward the car. Brad pulled Gwen inside, but he purposely pushed Sebastian away. Brad did this because he was jealous after seeing Gwen and Sebastian together. He was scared that Sebastian might take Gwen away from him. Meanwhile, Sebastian noticed police cars speeding toward him. To save himself, he grabbed a bicycle and started riding as fast as he could. After a long chase, he finally managed to escape the police. He then boarded a train and left Prague. After that, Gwen and Brad started arguing. Brad told Gwen they no longer needed Sebastian. They had already stolen two of Wagner's vaults and were sitting on millions, so the third vault wasn't necessary. Gwen didn't care about Brad's argument. She decided to go back to Sebastian. Brad tried hard to stop her, but Gwen ignored him and got out of the car. Corinna also got out and chose to leave Brad. Both women set off to find Sebastian together. Meanwhile, Sebastian somehow reached his home. Gwen and Corinna were already waiting there when he arrived. Seeing them made Sebastian furious. He turned bright red and angrily told them to leave. Gwen calmed him down and explained that Brad only wanted money, but she and Sebastian had a different goal: to open all three of Wagner's unique vaults. She promised Sebastian that she would never abandon him. Hearing that, Sebastian relaxed and agreed to help open the third vault. The three of them then traveled to Switzerland. Wagner's last vault was kept inside a large casino there, but they weren't the only ones in Switzerland. Daily Crow was also present. This time, Daily Crow decided to let the thieves enter the casino and then catch them red-handed. Daily Crow's team had tapped Corinna's radio frequency and learned that Gwen and Sebastian planned to go into the casino at 5 o'clock. Daily Crow waited for 8 hours. At exactly 5 o'clock, he took his team inside and asked the casino owner about the vault. The owner replied that a few hours earlier, Interpol had warned her the final Wagner vault might be targeted by thieves and suggested she move it to a safer place. 8 hours earlier, Corinna had called the casino owner while pretending to be an Interpol officer. She gave her false information about the vault being in danger. Because of this fake warning, the casino owner contacted a security company to relocate the vault to a safer place. But the people doing the relocation weren't from any security company. It was actually Gwen and Sebastian. At this moment, Daily Crow finally understood that Corinna had leaked information on purpose. She wanted the police to be misled so the heist could succeed. Meanwhile, Gwen and Sebastian had already escaped with the vault and were far away from the casino. Sebastian was now about to open Wagner's final vault. On the other side, Brad and his partner were waiting outside the casino. They planned to steal the final vault from Gwen and Sebastian, but after waiting for a long time with no movement, they tracked Gwen's phone. That's when they discovered Gwen and Sebastian had already taken the vault and escaped. Realizing this, they immediately began chasing them. At the same time, Corinna noticed Brad's phone signal on her system. He was rapidly moving toward Gwen and Sebastian. She tried to warn Gwen, but before she could, the police surrounded her from all sides and ordered her to surrender. Before being arrested, Corinna somehow managed to send a message to Gwen and then smashed her phone under the car. Meanwhile, Sebastian successfully opened the last vault. He was overjoyed. They stopped their car and began filling the bags with all the money inside. But before they could escape, Brad arrived and pointed his gun at both of them. Brad also wanted to share the money, but Gwen refused to give him anything. Hearing no, Brad became furious and fired his gun at Sebastian. Luckily, Sebastian survived because Brad's gun was empty. Gwen then told him, "I never put bullets in your gun because I always knew you would betray me someday." She pulled out her own gun and took control of the situation. She tied up Brad and Rolf to the car and escaped with the money and Sebastian. According to their plan, Gwen and Sebastian reached a boat. They planned to escape the country through the river. Before leaving, Sebastian nervously confessed his feelings for Gwen and she accepted his love. But before they could run, Delacroix caught up to them. He pointed his gun at both of them and ordered them to surrender. Gwen refused and aimed her gun at Delacroix. She said, "I will surrender, but only if you let Sebastian go." Delacroix had no choice. He accepted the deal and allowed Sebastian to leave. Gwen promised Sebastian that she would meet him again soon, and together they would find Wagner's final vault, the one buried deep under the ocean. With a heavy heart, Sebastian said goodbye to Gwen and left on the boat. Many years passed. Now Sebastian lived in California, where he ran a business building custom safes. He had even named his shop after Gwen. One day, a couple came to his shop. They showed him a blueprint of a safe and asked, "Can you open this?" The moment Sebastian looked at the blueprint, he was thrilled. It wasn't an ordinary safe, it was Wagner's final vault, the one that had sunk somewhere deep in the ocean. Sebastian agreed to take on the mission, and with that, the amazing movie came to an end.